Welcome to the Quiet Bell Tarot 44. I will be pulling cards tonight for messages regarding the full moon in Leo and what is needed. Guides, Spirit, what is the message needed tonight? Son of Pentacles. What is the message? The Chariot. If you hear noise in the background, that's the TV in the other room. And my dog, he has a bone. And we have the Death card. All right. Let's take a couple of deep breaths in. Release. Let's see here. Son of Pentacles. Loyal, quiet, dedicated. The good side of the Son of Pentacles is that he is loyal and determined. He is inventive and can be trusted wholeheartedly. But sometimes this figure becomes stubborn and persistent to a fault. This, combined with his quiet nature, results in being hard to get to know, socially awkward at times. He commonly has only one or two close friends, rather than many. Alright, so I'm feeling for the Son of Pentacles. I'm feeling you're a hard worker, obviously, but this card is being diligent. But I feel like there's an imbalance. That you're great at taking action and working toward things that need to get done in your life. You're diligent in your work and career, but you have no balance in fun, play, resting. You always feel like you need to be accomplishing, striving, and doing. Next, we have the Chariot. The Chariot has a horse with a crescent moon. Horses represent freedom. And this one is about freedom for play. There's a part of you that's been really wanting this. Rest, vacation, travel. That message is for somebody. Been wanting to travel, but you've been putting it off because of all the responsibilities you've been trying to carry and take care of. All right. The booklet here says, strong will, triumph. The Chariot is your confidence, your will, your inner warrior at points in your life when you felt the bliss of achievements or triumph. You were riding on his back. Build a relationship with that part of yourself. Try to see the Chariot inside you. The more focused your mind, the easier it will be to sense his presence and stay mounted on his back. With a fixed gaze and sure footing, you'll be headed toward all you dream of. I feel like You've been very good at riding the back of the horse for working, your career, accomplishing things. But you're not confident enough to do the same for enjoyment of life. You put so much more on your responsibilities rather than enjoying in that balance. That's what's needed to change. You need more fun in your life, more joy. Next we have the Death card. And Death card isn't about literal death. It's about transformation, rebirth. Booklet says here, closure, transformation. No one loves the sight of death. And no one loves the Death card in a reading. We spend most of our lives denying death altogether. So when this card appears, it's easy to get frightened or think it's bad. Don't let drama distract you from this message. Something in your life needs to end. It needs closure. This will happen voluntarily or involuntarily. Either way, you will feel a positive transformation begin after the initial forms of suffering have passed. So you may be experiencing a hard situation in your life. And it might be really hard for you to enjoy the freedom of play and fun. But once this passes, you'll have the opportunities to do so. And you might be able to do it even now during this time. This might be in particular for someone who's going through a very difficult time in their life. But it's needed and it's necessary for your growth. It's going to lead you to more play and enjoyment and choosing that over all the responsibilities. Which you'll have responsibilities no matter what. But you'll be able to have more balance. You won't feel like you have to take care of everything all the time. You're putting a lot on your shoulders. Once you get through this situation, you will have the freedom to experience the things you want to experience. And you probably do little by little while you're going through this difficult time. Let's see. Additional messages here. What other messages do they have, Spirit? Messages. This is from the Louboutin Oracle. You got 28 here. Number 28. Power. Power fascinates. It casts a spell on those who hold it or those who would like it as their ally at all cost. It is a puff of smoke, a creeping thought, which entices even more when we discover the possibilities open to us when we possess it. This is not always a bad thing if one knows how to convey it, and if the ultimate goal is positive. Power is a friend of the ego, which is why if both are in harmony, we are one with our wishes, and we can benefit from this, or ensure that the weaker people, or those with less means, can benefit in turn. But when we take over and begin to possess us, they chain us in a morbid relationship in which we do nothing but feed our lust for possessions, control, and dominate things and people. This card should always be looked at in conjunction with the other cards that come out in the same spread in order to understand what relationship we have with power, how we try to obtain it, and for what purpose we use it for. This could be going back to work and doing all the responsibilities. You probably feel more secure and powerful when you're taking care of all these things. It might be fear-based, that things might fall apart if you let yourself enjoy life, enjoy the things, the leisure things, travel. Maybe that's the transition you need to go through with the Death card. To let go of that fear and to feel confident enough to ride that chariot, the horse. The next card we have is number 3. The spring of the senses. In this card, everything is tangible. The inner awakening leads you toward a desire to touch and bite into life, as if it were a juicy apple. We must help process of returning to the light in practical and concrete way. Passion and curiosity dominate this card, which emphasizes what we are and can be passionate about in order to make our life attractive and active. What gives us pleasure? What do we want to put in place to be in a constant perception of our surroundings? What can we be seduced by in everyday life? We are flesh and blood, not just soul, and this card reminds us of that. But beware, while it is right to seek fulfillment, an excess of it makes us sluggish and a prisoner of our senses. So this is actually the counterbalance to your working and your responsibility. So you have to find an in-between, because you do have a lot of responsibilities and things to care for, but it's necessary for you to enjoy life. But you got to make sure you don't put everything on hold. You got to find the balance. Message of Spirit, thank you. Union. Myself and soul are one. Alright, here we are. Myself and soul are one. In chapter 5 of Mary's Gospel, the disciples are terrified in the wake of Christ's crucifixion. They fear that they will be killed as well as if they are caught by the Roman Empire. I've always seen this passage as if it were a scene from a film. I can imagine so vividly the dread that they must have felt. I can imagine the comments about the threat to their own lives getting louder until the fear becomes palpable in the air. Then Mary stood up. Her gospel reads, and I can see this so clearly. I can see her standing up among a sea of disciples, all huddled together on the ground, feeling defeated and afraid. Then Mary stood up and greeted them. She tenderly kissed them all and said, brothers and sisters, do not weep, do not be distressed, nor be in doubt, for his grace will be with you, sheltering you. Mary 5:4. Mary stood up for the disciples in a moment of pure terror and became a presence of love among them. Mary stood up in the midst of fear to be the love that Christ had been among them. This moment from Mary's Gospels demonstrates that it means to be in union, and it's evidence of her leadership in the earliest form of Christianity. Mary goes on to say that as a community of brothers and sisters, we should praise his greatness, for he has untied us and made us true human beings. Christ lived in a state of union. He was Ahindia, which is Aramaic for the unified one. He had unified his egoic self, his full humanity, with his divinity, his eternal soul. He had become fully human and fully divine, anthropos, the child of true humanity. Mary, in this state of union, stood up in the midst of panic to be the presence of love when love was most needed. And this is what Mary reminds us that we can do as well. We can practice living in a state of union by returning again and again to the soul that sits like a treasure here inside our very human hearts. We can practice becoming the presence of love when love is most needed. Soul voice meditation. How can I stand up like Mary to be the presence of love in this moment? This is about union. I think this is about you unifying what you've been denying yourself. It's facing that fear with love. The fear that things are going to fall apart. Having faith and trust that things are working out for you. All right, thank you for that message. What other messages do we have, Spirit? We have guilt. Act from your innate wisdom. Archangel Permeek and Pan, God of nature. Any more messages, Spirit? Lama. Set clear boundaries, enforce them. Archangel Chamuel. Goats who originate from Orion, the ascended constellation of enlightenment, are highly intelligent animals. They are often misunderstood, though when they feel appreciated, they are generous, loyal, and nurturing. They love to be free to wander, spreading golden light, wisdom wherever they go. They balance this desire for space and independence by enjoying the companionship of the herd. These special animals all have great sense of balance. They love to clamber in the mountains and stand on rocks and peaks, gazing at the world and seeing all from a higher perspective. When you see a goat standing on a pinnacle, it may be linking into Orion for inspiration, for their sole mission is to lighten the vibration of our planet. Their service work is to clear unwanted vegetation and rubbish. Guidance. When you choose this card, your guidance is to be free and independent within the nurture of loving, caring family and community. If you feel misunderstood, remember that you carry in your aurora light and wisdom that are not always recognized. Do any menial task that comes your way graciously, for this is a part of life on Earth. You're invited to look at the circumstances of your life and challenging situations from a higher perspective. They will bring you much peace, enable your innate qualities of love, loyalty, and caring to develop. When you can do this, your essential wisdom will shine through. You will be acknowledged by those around you. Recognize who you are, and many will be drawn to your energy. I think a lot of people just see you as this person to depend on. They see you as someone who's going to take care of stuff. But you long to be independent from this. Still have work to do and to carry out your tasks. You're called to look at things from a different perspective. And this will bring you much peace. Thank you for that message. Now we got the llama. Set clear boundaries and enforce them. Archangel Chamuel. Llamas originate from Lacumae, the ascendant aspect of Sirius, and they are incarnated into the South American, which is closely connected to Venus, the planet of love. They help to keep open the hearts of those around them by bathing them in Christ's light. Llamas are gentle, intelligent creatures of their wool. Creatures offer their wool and their strength in service. They respond generously and loyally to fairness and love, but they know their own limits and set clear boundaries, refusing to be overburdened. This is speaking about this, the responsibilities, and people putting more responsibilities on you, possibly. That could be for some in particular. And you need to create some clear boundaries so you're not overburdened. They are sociable animals who love to be with other llamas, and this helps them maintain a fifth dimensional frequency. They bond with and protect any animal they are asked to look after. Like many heart healers, they are gentle, patient, and understanding with those who are in need or sick, raising the vibration and giving them healing. Guidance. This card of pure love is suggested. It suggests your heart is warm and open, so you may let others impose on your good nature or drain you. Decide what is acceptable for you. This is important to set clear boundaries, as we are all energetically entwined, and it may be enough for you to define these boundaries mentally. However, your guidance is to be prepared to enforce them tactfully if necessary. Then you will find it easier to follow your heart and be loyal, caring, and patient with your loved ones and those in need. I think this setting the boundaries is part of the death of the old way you've been doing things. Setting those clear boundaries to other people, so you may enjoy the things you want to enjoy. Remember to find time to see positive friends, more of this here, and do things that make you feel relaxed and happy. This is what I've been saying right here, this card. Should I say this is what Spirit's been saying? This will give you energy to keep your frequency high. It will benefit you to tune in to the cosmic heart for love and support. Ah, that's a good message for you. I like this one. All right, we'll get some additional messages. We got Spirit Animal Oracle. Let's see what we got here for you. What other messages, Spirit, to close out this? We got Sea Turtle, Protection. You are the master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold. Persevere, and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. I think that's speaking about that fear. The fear of if you step away, things will fall apart. You got to trust, have faith. What other messages do we have, Spirit? All right, you have to use your own intuition and imagination here. Personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. I'll give you a moment. Messages. We have Lion, which is great for full moon in Leo. Lion, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. All right. We got a few sea melody messages, and then I think we'll be closing this out. The first one. Self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. I think that goes with all the work, responsibility, and fear you've been shouldering. It's time for that fun, which will be your self-care. Any more messages? Flow. Let your worries drift away. Generosity. What good is treasure if you keep it to yourself? I think that's probably you having fun. And the people around you can have fun with you. Allowing yourself to have that freedom. That's what I feel. Well, this was your message. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe, comment. Maybe share what personal choice animal came to mind for you and the strengths. Let me know if this resonated with you. And I'll see you on the next one.